everybody. I'm Tom Peach with Tom and Cindy and Associates at Long and Foster, and I'm here with Jim Patrick, and we wanted to give you a kind of early in the year market update of what's going on so that you can plan your real estate moves for the year.
So yeah, one of the things obviously we're tracking this time of the year is the inventory, the number of homes that are actually on the market. Our core service areas 22315 and 310, that's the Kingstown, Franconia areas. And as is usually the case this time of year, inventory is very low. You know, people taking their homes off the market for the holidays and kind of waiting for things to pick back up. Inventory tends to be a little tight, so there's not as much competition for sellers right now. Good news with interest rates is, you know, we have seen them creeping up. We actually saw them drop a little bit at the end of the year, but you know, over time we do know that they are going to kind of keep going up, so it's a great time to buy.
Tell folks approximately what rates are at this point.
Sure. So right now they're kind of hovering the mid to high fours, depending on your loan type and, you know, really how much you're putting down, obviously what you qualify for, but somewhere in that 4.5% to maybe 5% range.
And we always tell people on interest rates, it's great to compare. We want them to get the best rates possible, but just that if they're going to compare lenders, do it on the same day, because sometimes something happens in the bond market, something happens politically, and you have one guy being the best rate one day, and the next day the person you compare them to is different. So compare them, please do that, but try to do it on the same day.
Absolutely.
And in going over that as well, we stay in close touch with a number of different top lenders in the area, and we kind of have a feel on the market of how many buyers they're talking to. And they come to us when it's slow. They come to us when when they're really busy. So right now, the ones that we've talked to have quite a few people in the pipeline that are looking to buy in 2019, which bodes well.
Absolutely.
The last 4 years, now nobody knows what's going to happen in 2019, but the last 4 years, what we've seen is sellers in the first quarter and second quarter of the year have actually had higher prices. They've gotten higher prices for their homes than the folks later in the year. Will that be in effect in 2019? Too early to say, but usually because of low inventory, people that took their houses off the market for the holidays and people that haven't gone on yet because they want their kids to finish the school year, usually there's a real sweet spot in the beginning of the year for sellers to get top dollar.
And yeah, and that's why, you know, we say the spring market in our area really starts earlier. We're not quite as seasonal as a lot of markets. Obviously, the DC metro area is a little bit more transient than a lot of metro markets. And our spring market really, middle to the end of January is when we start to see that momentum start building. And as Tom mentioned, with that lower inventory this time of year, you start to see the buyer demands increasing, and the sellers, the inventory actually lags a little bit behind, so that contributes to sellers doing really well the first and second
So
quarter.
talk about a couple of areas, like if you were taking the Kingstown, Alexandria area versus McLean or Old Town, different prices. I think in the first-time buyers and even move-up buyers, there's some price ranges that are hotter than others, and some, like the high luxury, seems like it's a little bit slower.
Yeah, and it just really comes down to how big the buyer pool is that you're pulling from. So your lower priced condos, definitely the townhouses and single families on the lower end of the price range, you're going to have higher demand for those. You're going to have a larger buyer pool. There's always going to be more competition versus getting up to that higher range, especially your luxury market, 800, 900, definitely over $1 million. Where financing options, there's not as many people looking at those price ranges, so you tend to have a little less demand, higher days on the market. And some of those are a little more seasonal as well. People timing the kids getting out of school.
I tend to think of it like, so in our area, our office is in zip code 22310, and any nice, just take single family homes, anything nice from the high 500s to say 750, if it looks good and it's priced right, is going to sell quite quickly. But if you took anything over 800 in this area, and it's certainly anything over 900, you better make sure you're positioned correctly. Whereas if you're looking in Vienna, McLean, parts of Great Falls, if you're 800 or 900, that translates to what our 700 to 800
flying off
is.
the shelves. Yeah, they're cut off for the luxury, the higher end's more around 1.3 or so. Over that, 1.5 and above, really, it starts to get a little bit tougher to sell. So real estate's very local, even within the same market. So having an expert that knows the area really going to help you out, figure out where to price it, what to do to the home to sell quickly and for top dollar.
Right, and even though the market that we're describing is the way it is right now, no matter if it's hot or slow, we kind of think of it as a tale of two markets. So a home that is in excellent condition, that's priced correctly, exactly where it should be, is going to generally sell within 30 to 45 days. However, in any market, it could be the hottest market going, and there's always people who their home's been on the market for 100, 200 days, and the reason's always the same. Either they didn't do what they needed to do to make their home show well, or they were overly ambitious on price and they just stuck to that price without realizing that it was being rejected by the marketplace.
Exactly.
So is there anything we can do to help people get their houses ready? Or?
Well, yeah, of course. If you're thinking about selling this year, even if you're not entirely sure, but you want some ideas, want to kind of know where you might be valued, and really what you can do in order to get top dollar and show really well the market, so that so you can sell quickly, whether you're relocating, moving up, moving down, we'd love to help you out. So feel free, give us a call. No cost, no obligation consultation. We can come over and walk you through what are some things that might help you, and obviously what to expect in the process.
We'd love to help you. We thank you for your time and look forward to seeing you soon.